Is this the worst World Cup in the recent history? At least in the 2000s, from 2002 to 2006, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022, 2026. Is this the worst World Cup that we've had? We will be answering that question. These are the 10 reasons as to why this is the worst World Cup. The first reason as to why this World Cup is probably the worst World Cup in recent history is that we moved from 32 teams to 48 teams, an addition of 16 teams. With an addition of that many teams, it dilutes the quality, right? There is no more so-called group of death, you know what I'm saying? Teams are qualifying easy, you know what I'm saying? There are a lot of goals. We see 5-0, 5-1, such type of scores. We see them a lot, right? With the addition of a lot of teams, it's a no-brainer that some of the teams will be of less quality in comparison to the Giants. Though it's also an experience for these teams to experience the World Cup at least for the first time in 40 years. Iraq experienced World Cup for the first time in 40 years. There are teams that experience their first World Cup. It comes with that, you know what I'm saying? It comes with the positive side of it. But in reality, the competition is really diluted, right? Messi has already 5 goals, Haaland 4 goals, Mbappe 4 goals at the time that I'm recording the video, right? So we see such things happening, you know what I'm saying? No wonder someone might score 15 goals by the end of this thing. So we moved from 64 games to 104, you know what I'm saying? So the 48 team expansion, it has some good in it, but in my personal view, I think it dilutes the quality of the World Cup. The second reason as to why this is probably the worst World Cup in recent history is hydration break. I'm saying football has low-key turned into American football or basketball, where you have 4 quarters, you know what I'm saying? We only used to have 2 quarters. We weren't used of the cooling break and all that. The last time I remember cooling break was right after COVID, you know what I'm saying? And that's understandable. If you watch the France game today, in the second half, after the delay of the match, they ended up playing the full second quarter, you know what I'm saying? So do they really need it? You know what I'm saying? Some of these players are used to playing in heat conditions, so I really don't think they needed to change that. Football is turning into basketball or American football, where you have 4 quarters. And essentially, there are loopholes for other things to happen during the 3-minute break in each half. And I'll talk about that. I'm not trying to talk about it right now, but I will talk about that. So the hydration break, to me, is unnecessary, and it ruins the rhythm of the game, you know what I'm saying? If it's like during boxing, when you're fighting someone and after every round you have to start afresh, you know what I'm saying? So the bell, there is this saying that goes by, saved by the bell. That happens a lot nowadays in football, because if one team was really attacking the other team and it's time for a cooling break, the rhythm of the attacking team is gone now, you know what I'm saying? So like, that in itself has really messed up the game. While we're still at the hydration break thing, let us talk about another point, which is extreme heat conditions. In the past World Cup, we saw that they moved it to December, winter, to accommodate all the other players, because during the summer it was very hot, so they moved the thing to winter. My only question is, why didn't they do it right now in this World Cup? If we are concerned about heat, why wouldn't we move it to December or something? Or find another venue that accommodates everyone from every walk of life, you know what I'm saying? So extreme heat condition, that could have been solved by moving the dates around, you know what I'm saying? Maybe during fall, whatever. Something could have been done, you know what I'm saying? That's it. Too much travel time. That's the fourth point that I'm coming with, you know what I'm saying? The fact that this World Cup has 3 nations that hosting the thing. If your team, let's say, plays in Canada today, and the next match of the knockout is in USA, you need a visa to enter USA, you need extra money for the hotel and all that stuff, but also you need to travel, right? So there is travel time in there, a lot of cost, you know what I'm saying? Too much travel time between the players and also the fans that are actually paying a lot of money for the tickets. The tickets are already high enough, but still you have to travel within countries to support your team. The price of tickets is very high. That's my fifth point, you know what I'm saying? The price of ticket is very high in this World Cup. Let's say it as it is. The other day I saw a woman that was sick and wanted to sell tickets to a game. The tickets were 4,000 for one person. 4,000 US dollars for one person. And it wasn't like a final or something. At least if she was selling a finals ticket, you can understand it's a finals, the stakes are high. This was a group match, $4,000. You know what I'm saying? On top of everything that's happening with the travel and all that, you still have to pay for the tickets. The tickets are very, very pricey for an average person. You know what I'm saying? For someone to watch his or her team for the entirety of the group stage and the knockout stage, and let's say they go to the finals, he or she will have to be rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe at some point, I might get the numbers wrong, at some point in the past 4,000, you will watch the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But now that's just money for one match. You know what I'm saying? That's why most people just opt to watch on the TV. And even people that are in these countries, they can't afford those tickets, you know what I'm saying, for one match. You know what I'm saying? Even if you save in 4 years, you can't save for the whole thing. So the tickets are very pricey. It's becoming a rich man's game. Okay, this is the big point. Commercials. This is a big talking point, right? Now, the fact that they have added a lot of games from 64 to 104 games, there's like 40 something games that are added, right? And on top of that, there are three minute break in every quarter, right? So those are multiply, do the numbers, 120 opportunity for these big companies to advertise. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that FIFA has allowed this to happen, it just shows you that it's becoming, I mean, it is a business. We all know that football is a business, but at what point do we stop whatever that's happening? You know what I'm saying? At what point do we say that, hey, we have already made a lot of money, enough is enough? We make money from the tickets, we make money from the TV rights, we make money from jerseys and all that. And on top of that, we make a lot of money during commercials. Okay, don't quote me on this. What I'm about to say, it's allegedly, estimated, you know what I'm saying, reported. These aren't the actual numbers. I do believe they aren't far from the actual numbers, but don't quote me on this. You know what I'm saying? Fox is reportedly will be making $250 million to $300 million from commercials. You know what I'm saying? The three-minute commercials in each half that you see, and during halftime, they are reported to be making $250 million to $330 million. I might be wrong on the numbers, but in my humble opinion, I do believe that the numbers are within the same reach. You know what I'm saying? So on top of that, for a company to get a 30-minute, a 30-second commercial in there, they will have to pay anywhere from 200,000 US dollars to 750 only for 30 seconds, only for 30 seconds commercial. You know what I'm saying? So FIFA revenue budget is about 8.9 billion, including roughly 4 billion in TV broadcasting right. So the fact that they have added all these games, and on top of that, they are cooling breaks, whatever you wanna call them, there is a lot of opportunities for these big companies that are already making money to make more money off, you know what I'm saying, of fans. You know what I'm saying? Fans that most of them don't make a lot. Most of us, me included, we don't make a lot, but still they want to milk everything that they get, you know what I'm saying, from the tickets and everything. So that was my 6th point. The game has become money hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just money. The people don't care about the rhythm of the game, the feel of the game. An average supporter, they don't care about none of that. So like, the game has become a rich man's game, as I said earlier, and I will say it throughout this video, so bear with me. Visa and border concerns. The fact that this World Cup is being hosted by 3 separate nations, it raises concern that you need visa for all the 3 countries. If one country denies you, you might have to stay and wait for your team to get back to that country. You know what I'm saying? So like, there are those concerns, and fans and journalists and participants, there are reports that some of these people that are vital to the game haven't been able to get the visa to travel and have difficulties in traveling. You know what I'm saying? So the visa and border concerns are very high in this World Cup, just because it involves 3 countries and all that. That was my 7th point, right? I don't think I'll ever have said this. Snakes. In my years of watching football, I never thought for once I'll be saying this. Snakes. Snakes is a problem, you know what I'm saying? Venomous, this snake is called copperhead snake. was spotted near German training facilities, Workforce University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So that's a problem. I never expected to be saying this. On top of that, there are two other nations that have complained of the same thing, Switzerland and Norway. They have faced the same thing of snakes, venomous snake, you know what I'm saying? So God forbid something might happen if this isn't resolved, you know what I'm saying? So snakes is a problem. I never thought I'd be saying this. And for that reason alone, this is probably the most disorganized, the most worst World Cup that we have experienced in the past years. At least I'm speaking from my personal experience for all the World Cups that I've watched. I think I've watched 2006, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022, now 2026. So I've watched a couple World Cups, right? I don't think I never thought that would be an issue. Okay, but that's an issue. Number 9, questionable refereeing. The fact that we have VAR and some of the calls that could alter an entirety of the team's journey aren't being checked by the VAR is absurd to me. The biggest one is the Argentina's first game. Messi should have been sent off, and 2 other players should have been sent off. That alone disrupts the game. I'm saying probably Argentina doesn't win that match. I'm saying probably Messi doesn't score 2 more goals. You know what I'm saying? So the refereeing has been very questionable. Another game is Haiti and Scotland. This brother just hit another person on the knee with the studs. That's a red card in every game of the day. In every day of the week, that's a red card. But the VAR didn't intervene. So it begs you to ask, what's the point of VAR if we don't use it in calls that could really hurt one team? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't we protecting the health of the victims? You know what I'm saying? And why do we pick and choose when to use it? You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we have all this technology, all these cameras, all the VAR not intervening in these decisions is something that doesn't sit right with me, doesn't make sense with me. And you'll expect that after the backlash that has happened online, things will change. No, the same thing happened today. Argentina were gifted a goal that shouldn't have stood. You know what I'm saying? So questionable refereeing has been a thing in the past World Cups, but the fact that we're in this day and age where we use all this stuff, but still that stuff is happening, doesn't sit right with me, doesn't make sense. So I do believe that this needs to change, and I'm hoping that it will change. You know what I'm saying? That was number 9. And final. If you're still watching, I really appreciate, because I put time in making these videos, right? I really appreciate if you leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, as I'm planning to be talking about the World Cup more. I haven't posted anything about the World Cup. This is my first video. I wanted to see how the first games were going, right? So I'm planning to be posting more on this World Cup. So the watch times are crazy. Someone in UK, Germany, France, or Spain, they have to wake up at 1 a.m., 4 a.m., and even 6 a.m. to watch their team. And honestly, this is something that it will be experienced in every World Cup, because if they choose a country in Europe, someone in USA will be watching the same games around that time. So I don't know how they were going to solve this, but most of the nations in Europe, Africa aren't able to watch some of the games just because of the timing. Remember, these people have to go to work too. So I don't know how they were going to solve this, but the fact that the problem will always be there. If the World Cup is played in Africa, someone in wherever they want, the watch times will always be a problem. I understand that, but I think it's too much for this World Cup in comparison to the other World Cups. If you enjoy this content, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. And also, I believe that I'm leaving some of the things. If you've noticed something that I've left, please leave it in the comment. I'd like to hear your opinion. That being said, God bless.